Good morning. I'm going to give YouTube the platform in this format one more chance at talking about the things that I care about. Um, so, as such, the last for all, I bought some more storage, etc. The last attempt at this is going to be dealing with lawn grasses and how important it is, and then it's going to be broken up into several things. And what I would like to talk about today is its ability to lay shade. Um, like you lay carpet, you pour concrete. I don't know what else you lay, but anyway, laying shade is very important because, especially by the lawn grasses, because they protect what's most important, the soil. And within that soil, don't think of the aggregate, think of the microbes and the organisms and the enzymatic activity in it breaking down the plant cellulose and creating fertility. Upon fertile soil that also has moisture latching capability, etc., all benefit is established. That's the basis. You have to start there. If you care about anything, don't listen to people that, I care about stray animals, or I call about this, or I care about the homeless. You know what? Their plight would not be nearly so bad if a lot more people took care of their lawns in a manner where the soil was protected. With these big mowers, these zero-turn mowers, and even mowers prior, but just in a few short decades, we've destroyed 40% of our living soil. The rest is going to go even quicker because, we have more people, and those people are mowing in vast, further out. So, why is where's the canopy, the carpet? I have trouble staying on track, I'll admit. Look at all this little moss, I love them. But anyway, laying shade. Okay, that's where we're at. Doesn't really matter. Nobody watches my videos anyway. But so you want to minimize your just like if you're trying to do this new dieting that's hormone based, where you limit your eating windows so that you don't have the hormone insulin constantly out. You want to narrow your evaporative window. So I'm using the stick to emulate the rays of the sun. Okay, if you're cut very low, then the sun's at 7 o'clock or in the morning or something, 8 o'clock, and with a very low cut, that's high enough angle of incidence to start hitting the soil, start taking up moisture. The problem with that is then in the inverse, when it's still very late in the day, it's still giving on moisture. So if you can narrow that evaporative window up with a taller cut and a denser canopy, then what happens is there's more moisture day 2 after a rain, more moisture day 3, day 4, and when there's moisture available for evaporation, then there's a better chance of precipitation on those days following a no rain circumstance. So anyway, then also with that taller plant, you don't get the sticky proteins that cause grass seeding. So if your perk percentage on a certain property is a small yard and quite a bit of runoff area, then you don't have to worry about no-blow zones where your deck might go over the top of a concrete pad and then leaves grass staining. So you're not fostering the genre of plants that would have those sticky proteins and clover and stuff like that are going to, instead it's going to be more like Bahia, which is going to be more like straw-like, where it has a lot more transpiration or capillary. You can think of it as capillary function or whatever, and it acts as a liaison between soil moisture and atmospheric moisture. And when you have an imbalance, it pulls from the atmosphere, feeds the soil, especially in the morning with dew, and that sustains between rainfalls. And then inversely, if you have rainfall, more moisture than the soil can handle. Girls, I'm coming. I will get there. I get so busy I don't get time to feed them as properly as possible. But inverse is possible, where the grasses will through transpiration, and then of course too, when you have transpiration and pulling moisture, you know, from soil in excess and liberating into the atmosphere, so it balances, and then that balance gives you better thermal conditions and humidity. And also, when you have that canopy where it can't evaporate, now that grasses are in a higher growth state that basically converts heat to cellulose and that's good. You want thermal conversion. You can't have thermal conversion if you mowed so low that your chlorophyll layers are gone or chlorophyll concentrate. I think I'm burning my lunch, by the way. But because then it has to use reserve starches to restore the chlorophyll before it can start doing photosynthesis and converting heat to excuse the mess. I think I'm burning my food though. You know what I mean? So everybody complaining about yeah, pretty done. Everybody complaining about heat and humidity. Well, your grasses are your thermal transducers, and the sun's going to do what the sun's going to do. How we receive it, that's up to you. Okay? And I don't know how I got off track of shade, but I kind of did. But look forward to, if you like this at all, you got to do something, because I'm ready to bow out. I don't care anymore if you don't. So you know what you got to do. I'm not wanting money. Hell, I've lost so much to forward this information, and it's hard to not care about the lawns I do. It's hard not to care about the lawns that I see around me, because to do so means I don't care about the next generation, and I'm not that kind of person. I think that there's a lot of misinformation about the generations prior that maybe didn't do the right thing, but that isn't talked about a lot because you don't talk about. But I may end up doing that too, because I just can't abide by people who are destructive to the environment, to our ecologies, to individuals, and blast out chemistries that we have contact exposure and metabolic processes take it into our bodies and destroy the cousin genre of the plants that those chemistries are supposed to destroy. So then that leaves us without immune support and sickens us. And in all, a lot of the practices by our forefathers have been very detrimental, and a lot of people aren't pointing that out. And I'm letting that build up a little bit before I throw that out there. But yeah, you gotta do something too, dude. You gotta do, guys, girls, whatever. You gotta like and subscribe. You gotta do something. I mean, I know that it's not really the messaging y'all want to hear, but the blessing is that there's proof that we were supposed to be here and in more abundance than we are now. It's structured within the DNA of this very planet and all the organisms upon it. And that I will get into too, because and I may end up converting to a written format, because just like your pictures on your phone, they're great, and they're great when you get a chance to review them. But if your device dies and things like that, then, you know, I prefer printed, and there's validity to the benefit of written word. It cannot be downgraded, downregulated, downviewed because of the perspective of big corporations and big green lawn chemistry companies and big pharma that don't want you to see things like this. And you know, actually people think I'm political. I'm not. This whole thing is to structure such a huge benefit chain that there's no room for the grifters, the political class, the supposed problem solvers. We create the problems that they utilize to capture our continued involvement in their enrichment. So I gotta go. Have a good one.